And welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Chip Lupo with WalletHub talks about rising insurance rates. Oh, yeah, and they are. I can vouch for that.
Betcha.
And what we can do to help ourselves get around those extra high prices and maybe a bump in your own insurance. Plus, Jeff has the racing calendar. We'll have This Week in Auto History and have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin, Chief Engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us for today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Tried to get him on last weekend, had a little problem with that, but ladies and gentlemen, you know how we are. We just keep bothering him and getting it right. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is, Chip Lupo. Chip, good morning.
Hi, morning, guys.
How are you?
Oh, good. How are y'all today?
We're fine. Hot.
Yeah.
Is it hot up there? Where are you?
Columbia, South Carolina.
Is it hot?
Oh.
It was today. Well, we had like a microburst blow through here yesterday, and it cooled things off dramatically. It's probably not even going to get, for the first time in like 6 weeks, it's not going to crack 90 degrees. Last weekend, the heat index was 116.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect for the first day they were moving students into the University of South Carolina. They was moving day,
Yes.
so they could not have picked a worse day to do that.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, it's great to have you with us, and tell us about WalletHub. Let's get everything out on the table here. Tell us about WalletHub.
Well, WalletHub is primarily a personal finance website that allows consumers to make to shop around, and whether it's for to find the right credit card, personal loan, those types of things. And it's also a good place for you to monitor your credit. We offer free credit scores and credit reports updates, and it does not affect your credit score. Let's throw that myth out right now that just checking your credit score does not affect your score. And we offer other services at different levels, 24/7 credit. And for people who are willing to pay just a few bucks a month for a subscription, the budgeting apps. And budgeting is the key to personal finance. That's like the fun. It's like playing a sport or learning an instrument. You learn the fundamentals, you master the fundamentals, and ultimately you'll be successful. And we also do data-driven studies, and you and I have spoken on numerous occasions about the auto-related data studies that we do. And my job is to come out here and chat with folks like you guys to break it down for you in plain English.
Well, and that's what we're going to do. Yeah, so recently, what I learned was, and there was a commercial. I don't remember who it was. Was it Progressive? I can't remember. One of the big insurance companies that advertises a lot. And I thought that they had a really cute advertising campaign, and it was called Bundle Save, which translated to bundle and save.
Yeah, I think
with a
that
spin
was
on
it. Yeah, I think that was State Farm that did that. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I thought it was very clever. And so I started looking around because my homeowners insurance seemed to be a little on the high side. And then I looked at my car insurance, and that was as well. So I was with Allstate for decades and decades and decades back in the day. They wound up pulling the rug out from under me because they changed insurance agents, and I didn't even get a phone call from the new agency that took over the old agency.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that, yeah.
And it angered me. Thinking, screw you, I don't know who this person is. And so I left. Well, as it turns out, I did a little shopping around, and as it was, I got a better deal by going back to Allstate when I bundled my homeowners and my car insurance. And I'm saving, I don't know, $1,200 a year by doing that. And you hear it, and I'm here to say, I believe it now, because I didn't want to believe it, Chip.
Yeah, now bundling can be a good idea, particularly with one of these well-known carriers, whether it's Allstate or State Farm or Nationwide. But you do have to be careful though when you're bundling, because in a lot of cases you have like a stellar reputation for auto insurance, but maybe they're not quite as reputable or not quite as offer as much when it comes to homeowners insurance. So you may have to give up a little bit something, but obviously you've done your homework, you've shopped around, and you've got a pretty good deal. But buyer beware.
Well, let me just add to that. And the fact of the matter is that I actually got more coverage on the car at a much lower price than I had before. And same thing with homeowners. I saved in both areas and I got more coverage, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always, again, it's all about shopping around, but don't just immediately jump into bundling just for the purpose of saving money. Because again, in one area, when it comes to homeowners insurance or car insurance, when you file a claim, you may find that some of the coverage might be lacking. So good for you.
Yeah. Different coverage for the bundle versus the independent. Yeah.
And these insurance companies, I mean, let's face the fact. I mean, Allstate is right in there with all of the majors. They're out to make money. That they're just like a regular, like a Macy's.
They got to pay for all the advertising they do.
Well, there is that, yeah. And it's too much in my estimation, but whatever. It's their money because I just gave it to them all. But the bottom line is that if you go in knowing that they're out to make money, I think you'll feel better about getting a review of your policy, at least with 3 firms, which is what I did.
Oh, absolutely. You definitely have to shop around. 3 as the minimum, because you definitely, now keep in mind also that insurance are state-run entities. So the deal that you're getting in the state of Texas might be, in fact, it would be vastly different than it would be in Oklahoma or New Mexico or Arkansas or Louisiana.
And the fact that we live in a very large city with lots of cars, and depending on what it is that you're trying to insure, especially with a car, for instance, an F-150, most stolen vehicle here, it is also the number 1 seller here. So I would imagine that it's not grandpa's old pickup truck that's all beat up from the farm that you're driving anymore.
Right. And you're also in a very large state in which things such as uninsured drivers are high, which is a factor. Speed limits, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there are stretches of Texas highway where the speed limit is 80 to 85 and 75.
Yes,
I was on one yesterday. It was 75.
Yeah. So keep that in mind, because this is part of the reason why insurance is high in Texas. It's probably going to remain high for a while.
Well, what's interesting, Chip? When you say that, recently one of my granddaughters, we took her to Huntsville, to Sam Houston, go up there. That's where she wanted to go to school. It's checking on the insurance. Will her insurance cover from Beaumont to go up there? It's a couple hours away. Her insurance was cheaper in Huntsville than it was here because she was further away from the traffic on Interstate 10.
Right. Yeah, and Houston and the surrounding areas are the highest in Texas. Beaumont is one of the lowest. Now, this is according to Insurify, the insurance marketplace.
Sure.
The average full coverage monthly premium is going to be $267 in Houston, $221 in Beaumont.
Well, see, I didn't know that until we ran into her. So my insurance theoretically could be cheaper than Don's and Jeff's over in Houston, just because of where I'm related to Interstate 10.
Oh yeah, your zip code has a huge bearing on how much you're going to pay for insurance. And now again,
getting back to the speed limit,
and again, things such as traffic density, risk for accidents, that's always going to be a factor. Age of drivers, if you're adding a person to your child or even a grandchild to your policy, that's going to go up just based on the numbers.
Right.
Sure.
Right. Getting back to the speed limit, yesterday I was on one per 75, but aren't the speed limits designed by populace? If you have a less populated area, the speed limit will be given a higher rate or be given a higher speed to 75 or to 65 or to 85 in West Texas. That's the way I understand it, is that it's based on how many people live in the area that you're driving through.
Right, exactly. But with higher speed comes a higher risk of accidents. So that's what the insurance company is looking at. So, and
here's something.
Not to get too far off track, but other things like the EPA comes into effect. Like in Beaumont, Interstate 1075. I get into Harris County coming over towards y'all, and it drops down to 65. because the EPA regulations that the pollution that's over in that part of the world. So it's a bunch of things that go into it.
Well, here's another added little fly in the ointment.
Tidbit.
This thing right here that I'm holding, called a cell phone, if you dare sign up with your insurance company, you can even get a lower rate by having them monitor your speed. And so I thought, okay, I'll play the game. And so we're working on that now because I just made the change a month ago. So
see, they would tell me, "Hey, pick up the pace, buddy. Come on, move."
There is that. Yeah.
I wouldn't dare.
Yeah,
No, you
that
wouldn't.
I'm a little hesitant to do because I'm one of these. I like to play the 5 mile an hour buffer when I'm traveling down I-20 or I-26. So yeah, I have enough things in my car talking. I don't need the phone talking back to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just put them in the fence if they get in your way.
Yeah, that's exactly
You come through
right.
Houston, you better stay in the far right-hand slow lane if you're only 5 over the speed limit.
Yeah, well, if you're in the right-hand slow lane, you better be doing 10 over because you're still getting.
There's that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Chip, let me ask you, is there a place that your company, WalletHub, may offer this, that I can go and basically shop for insurance among all of the majors or any of the insurance companies that sign up and compare them?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of what WalletHub does. Again, we offer all kinds of shopping tools for, again, credit cards, personal loans, and that also includes car insurance. Just log on to wallethub.com and just type in best for car insurance or something along those lines, and it'll give you a wealth of articles, and plus the tools where you can filter exactly what you're looking for, and it'll spit out for you usually maybe the top 3 or 5 insurance carriers.
Because, I mean, if I've got a 5-year-old car, let's just use this as an example. a 5-year-old car, a Chevrolet, nothing spectacular. It is just a regular run-of-the-mill car, and that's not a put-down, by the way. I'm just saying that you could, if you had a regular run-of-the-mill car that's 5 years old, maybe has, I don't know, close to 100,000 miles on it, you could probably get a pretty decent rate. And if you're really smart about it, you may want to even consider dropping your collision insurance. And I would like to think that most people realize that that's probably the highest number on your car insurance policy if you look at it.
And also consider raising your deductible if it's a car. Could we have a 2011 Honda CRV with like 250 some thousand miles, which is basically the grocery getter. That's the weekend errand car. So we basically dropped that and raised it. It's like $1,000 deductible now. So the insurance is more than affordable on a car of that nature. But keep in mind though, if you're leasing a car or making payments on a car, they're going to require you to have X level of insurance.
Yes, exactly.
And usually includes, I think it's like a $500 deductible at a bare minimum.
Interesting.
Right.
And generally speaking, what would be the difference? Would it be overall with a $500 deductible, $1,000 deductible? It would be all of it. It didn't make any difference what the problem was with the car, but you're going to file an insurance claim and you've got to still meet that $1,000 out of your own pocket to get whatever it is fixed. Yeah.
Correct.
So, but whatever it is that you're running the claim for, you got to fork over the first 1,000.
Right.
Exactly. And that's how the deductible game works. Just like with your health insurance, the same for car insurance.
Gotcha. Okay. And, you know, the other thing is that there are a lot of independent insurance agents out there. And sometimes, from what I understand, that they may have 2 or 3 agencies that they sell insurance for. Am I correct?
Yes, those are insurance brokers, those are ones that'll basically, they're like a one-stop shopping. You tell them what you're looking for, and they give you the best rate from the best companies. But yeah, that's how that works. Definitely. So,
and when would you employ somebody like that to look for you on your behalf?
Well, typically, if you're maybe dropped by your insurance carrier, or you have so many points that one of the major carriers are not even going to return your phone calls, so those people can get down into the weeds and they can really find like a budget auto insurance, or if you want just the absolute minimum coverage on your vehicle, yeah, those are the folks that can go down there and do their research and find one for you.
Yeah, yeah. And I assume that WalletHub also offers that kind of stuff as well, or can guide you to somebody that would be able to fulfill what you're looking for.
Oh, absolutely. You type in your zip code and it will tailor results to your locale. So you're not having to call like some 1-800 number in Connecticut and then spend an hour on the phone trying to get someone localized.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then there's the SR22s if you that avenue for the
SR22. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't have any other questions. Do you have any words of wisdom for us?
Well, all I'll say is this is part of the reason that insurance is going up now. Now insurance can rise even if your personal situation hasn't changed. So keep that in mind. Again, may raise rates because of broader increases in claims, repair costs, weather losses, crime, other risks. But it's inflation that is the number one culprit right now when it comes to insurance, whether it's homeowners or cars, because higher costs for vehicles, parts, labor, repairs. That's going to lead those insurers again. As you mentioned at the very beginning, it's about all making money, so they're going to have to raise their costs to keep those profits coming in.
Yeah.
Hey, Chip, is it true your credit report, your credit rating can also impact your insurance?
Yes, absolutely. And just like with if you're on a health insurance plan, yeah, they're going to be based on numbers. Your credit score will go a long way in determining your rates. If you have poor credit, you expect to pay a little bit more. Average credit, you'll probably pay about the normal, and you might even get some breaks if you have excellent credit. But that's usually based on the zip code. What's the average credit score for your locale, not necessarily based on a personal credit score. Although sometimes.
So in other words, if you live in the ritzy area, like where Mars lives, there's a good chance that you're going to be paying more than, say, Don Armstrong.
Yeah, again, your credit score will determine that. Yeah, whether it's if you're in some area like Highland Park or some ritzy area outside of Dallas, or your credit score will not a lot, but you can expect some discounts. And
now if you own multiple properties like Mars does, can you get a discount for that?
Multiple vehicles, or
multiple vehicles or multiple homes.
Yeah, you can get discounts for those as long as. But insurance wise, that's actually a pretty good deal. If you can bundle, have all of the houses if they're in the same state. Now, if you're talking about properties in different states, that can get kind of complicated. Not to mention
probably individually.
And then you got to find the insurance companies that'll finance or that'll insure the type of property you have, or like I have multiple cars. I have 4 cars, but 2 of them are under 21. 2 of the drivers are under 21. That didn't help at all.
And if you have multiple properties and say you stay in one for like 9 months out of the year, you're going to be paying a pretty penny for that other one, because insurance goes up if the house is not full-time, have full-time someone in it full-time, because risks particularly of theft, vandalism, or natural disasters.
Yeah. Well, Chip, it's great to talk to you as always, and good to see you. Hope you stay cool up there, and we'll look forward to talking to you again this fall.
Yeah, look forward to the next one, guys. Y'all have a great weekend, and we will definitely talk soon.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chip.
Chip Lupo with WalletHub.
Thank you much.
All right, just ahead, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll bring you some headlines that you'll want to know about. The M-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues after this.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flamiado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi tortilla. Eats pretty good. The In Real Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 15 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on the local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcast, too, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the In Real Time Car Talk Show.
Talk show. Time now for Jeff's racing calendar, sponsored by the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge and big doings up in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to start with NASCAR first. They're in New Hampshire. You've got the Truck Series is going to be running today at 2:30, and then you got the Cup guys running tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Formula One, those folks are going to be running the Dutch Grand Prix tomorrow, and I think the trophy is a wooden shoe with yogurt in it. I'm not sure, but I think I've heard that before. NHRA, guess where they're
it's
at?
a clean shoe.
Yeah, exactly. NHRA, I watched a little bit of it last night in NHRA Brainerd Nationals at the Brainerd International Speedway.
That's a party.
Yep, that's going to be debauchery. And, of course, we talked about Indy, of course, the Freedom 250, and you've got our boys up in Claremore, Oklahoma. Today is the OK Mower Racing at the WRD Motor Speedway. Motor, yeah, okay. And then today and tomorrow is the National Lawnmower Racing Championships, and that's in Ontario, Canada, eh? So you hosers up there, get your snow machines ready for this fall. Just telling you. There
Sounds
it is.
good. This week in auto history, Mr. Mars.
Yes, sir. We found a few things this week that we thought were rather interesting in auto history coming up. August the 23rd, way back in 1979, AMC introduces the Eagle. Now, this was one of their combinations trying to create a passenger car with comfort and four-wheel drive, and it was based on AMC's Concorde. Now, it had decent road manners, and it was kind of a conventional, and you could get it in several body styles, including the wagon right here for you, Jeff, still with the wood trim on it. And it was part of an important predecessor to today's crossovers and all-wheel drives, part of the industry development process, if you will.
I'd drive it. I'd tub it out.
Got the wood on it. You could do it. Then on August the 25th, back in 1910, the Yellow Cab Company actually begins. Now, it was founded by Walden Shaw as the Shaw Livery Company in Chicago. It was actually the first taxi cabs were horse-drawn carriages. And then, of course, it developed over the years, changed hands a couple of times. And Yellow Cab Company actually had a Yellow Cab manufacturing company where they were building their own cabs for a little while. And then, of course, one of the partners that came along in the process was a gentleman named Hertz. And, of course, that's where you get Hertz rental cars from. So it all kind of transitioned.
Puts you in the driver's seat today. Sorry.
No problem. I didn't know he had audio effects. I think it's great. Then on coming up on August the 26th, back in 1959, the Mini Cooper makes its design coming from the British Motor Corporation. And it's basically known as a Mini. Now, I saw one of these in California several years ago, much like the right one, the one on the right there, the white one. And it's really rolling on 12-inch tall tires. I mean, it looks like a little kid's car going down the freeway at 50 miles an hour. I don't know they'd go much faster, but that's how fast that one was going. So it was originally sold as the Austin 7 and Morris Mini Motor Company. And so it actually became an icon today, and they're still in production. And the original design was actually produced up until 2000, and they built 5.3 million of these cars along the way. Then we're going to move on to August the 27th, 1957, one of Jeff's favorite cars. Ford introduces the Edsel to the press. Now, this is where we brought out the wagon for you, Jeff.
I know. I'd drive it all. I'd drive the sedan.
So it was made its sales debut in 1957. Unfortunately, it became very quickly became a famous commercial failure. Part of it was due to the unusual styling. And a lot of people have decided that the ambitious marketing really It's kind of what killed it. Went a little too far, a little too fast. But anyway, that's lessons learned as far as
That horse
marketing
collar
goes.
grill just does it for me.
Yeah. A lot of people like that.
Push button trans.
The shifter. I love the shifter. Then August 28th, 1937, the Toyota Motor Company is established. Now, in 1937, it was actually coming out of the Toyota Automatic Loom Works Company. Now, this was a company, they developed an engine, they built their first prototype automobile. Then they changed the name from Toyota to Toyota. And partially because the Japanese characters to write Toyota it took 8 strokes to actually make that character. So, and that's considered a fortunate number. So they changed the name of it based on how many strokes it took to write the name of the car.
Very superstitious.
And you can see how well it looks like all the new modern Toyotas that are out there. So that was a few things that we found this week in automotive history that we thought were rather interesting coming up in the next week.
And that they were.
Yep.
Thank you. Well, I don't know whether you keep up with the news or not, but big doings between the U.S. and Canada. U.S.-Canada trade talks fell apart at the last minute last night with fresh 50% tariffs on billions of dollars of Canadian goods taking effect, and Prime Minister Mark Carney promising to retaliate. Nah, I don't like it.
Is that Art Carney's brother?
Not probably. U.S. tariffs kicked in today on hundreds of items the U.S. buys from Canada, such as plywood, liquor, electrical equipment, and hockey gear, totaling around $20 billion. Carney said he suspended talks and that his government would match those duties dollar for dollar to protect our workers and businesses. U.S. officials are pledging to present Donald Trump with options to escalate if he does. The two sides blamed each other for the collapse. U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer said the Canadian negotiators made 11th-hour demands that upended a draft deal worked out over days of negotiations. Those sneaky guys.
No more moose oil.
The two sides had been discussing a deal that included lowering tariffs on certain Canadian steel and aluminum to 25% and cutting duties on Canadian autos to 15% and eliminating a 10% lumber tariff. And they got a lot of lumber up there. U.S. officials said talks ended when Canada sought additional concessions in a couple of those areas but declined to say which. Brother.
There's lumberjack competitions. I wonder if that's going to be affected.
I don't know. Tickets to it probably will
I'm
be.
more wondering about the whiskey tasting competitions.
Yeah. NHTSA said yesterday it is open to probe into 997,743 General Motors pickups and SUVs over concerns related to engine failure. This has been an ongoing story. The vehicles include the Cadillac Escalade, Chevy Silverado 1500, GMC Yukon, among others, from model years 21 to 26, equipped with GM's L87 engines. I know somebody that had a brand new vehicle and the engine was a total disaster. They didn't want to stand behind it. He called out the lemon law here in Texas, and guess what?
Got it done.
They bought the car back. The auto safety regulator said it received 499 complaints alleging engine failures despite the vehicles having undergone an earlier recall remedy. GM issued a recall last year to address concerns related to engine failure in the impacted L87 unit. The Detroit automaker attributed the issue to a supplier. It's your fault, not mine. NHTSA said its new engineering analysis would continue its investigation into post-recall engine failures and assess the effectiveness of GM's fixes. Good luck on all of that.
They should take Ford's principle of recalls and just recall everything.
I think you're right. Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address is info@nwheeltime.com. We'll be back right after this break.
Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your save-the-paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get it protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See this state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today and online at gcautoshield.com. Gift giving should be meaningful, and we have an idea. A hand-painted custom illustration of your car from one of the nation's leading artists. Now you can get one or a car show poster customized for you, a friend, or a loved one. Bill Seitz will be happy to guide you through the process. No matter what the day, birthday, anniversary, or any day, an Autographics custom illustration adds an extra touch of class to any home. Call Bill today, 832-922-0963. That's 832-922-0963. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.